Evening intuitives. A little late with this one, you know. Well, it's not that late, but it's after 11:30, and I've been up since 5 in the morning and can't sleep, but I'm tired. Nonetheless, I was thinking of this video throughout the day, and I decided, tired or not, I'm going to get it done, because if I'm tired and doing a poor job, how would you know the difference from any of my other videos, as I said, and fully admit I don't know what I'm doing. So, here we are. I was thinking about, oh, again, please like and subscribe and help the channel grow, and thank you to everybody who's already have. But I was thinking today about INFJ Rarity and how that's a bad thing. I know a lot of INFJs, find like a sense of, feeling elite or special in the idea that we are arguably the rarest of the 16 personalities. There's some debate to that, though, no one debates that INFJ is certainly the rarest personality type among males, and INFJ males are more rare than INFJ females. Yay. Does that automatically make us special? No. Does it make us different and misunderstood and, lumped in with people that are nothing like us and make people perhaps think that we can't possibly be who we really are and it's an act? Yeah. And that's the purpose of this video, to discuss why, being rare is not a good thing for us INFJs. And there's multiple reasons for that, as there's multiple reasons for most things. One is, we're introverts. So being rare and misunderstood and being the type of person that isn't very good at making that initial contact, that initial first move, because we're just not good at that, and we're introverts, as I said, and we overthink the hell out of everything and second guess ourselves, and at least in our younger years lack confidence. So that's not good, especially when, perhaps the person you're trying to stand out to has maybe mentioned that they're looking for a person that essentially resembles what most INFJs are. However, due to our rarity, a lot of people assume, well, you know, those don't exist. INFJs, like, that can't be real, Like, they're just, used in and overused, by the way, uh, in stories, portrayed by fictional characters. There's nobody actually like that. And if there were, they're gone, because they're a relic of the past, because such a person can't exist, because they're an enigma, a walking paradox, spirits in the material world, which is another video I made, which you should watch. I'll put a link. And that leads, us to be further introverted, because, like I said, we're usually misunderstood and lumped in with groups of people that we're nothing like and may perhaps absolutely abhor, and we later in life develop the ability to call them out, because we can see through them even in our younger years, when we're usually not vocal about being able to see through fake people and predators and narcissists and those that get off on exploiting others. So there's that, point of why it's not so good to be rare for us. Another one is well, there's not, being so rare is it's very hard for us to find someone we can relate to, to discuss like problems. I didn't know any other INFJ males growing up. I mean, yeah, there were a few INFJ females looking back throughout the years, but to have another guy like me to bounce ideas off of, or to be like, am I the only one that thinks this way? Guess I am. What's wrong with me? Is my mother right? Is that concussion I had at 2 caused me brain damage? Which, by the way, if you can see the bald spot in my eyebrow there, I don't put that there. That's not a fashion statement. That's a scar from a childhood trauma when I was 2. It was my first stitches. It wouldn't be my last. It was my first concussion. It wouldn't be my last. So, given that rarity, especially in formative years, it'd be very difficult to, by chance, know someone that's like you, that thinks like you, that acts like you, that overthinks like you, that has trouble making, all the things that make us an INFJ. How many of us grew up assuming that we were, the only one of our kind, the last great auk standing on the all alone stone, waiting to be hunted like some kind of trophy? Yeah, rare doesn't always mean good. Rare can mean misunderstood, not taken seriously, assumed to be something that you're not, you know, assumed to be somebody pulling a con or some grand machination to get one over on somebody. These are things that I'm sure many of you, if you think about it, dealt with perhaps before you even knew you were an INFJ, just based on the facts that you were the only one of your kind. And it's important, like as I said in other videos, for INFJs to know that they are an INFJ and to know what that means, particularly if nothing else, an NITI loop, because they plague us for life and they become a little easier to deal with when you know that you're in one and know some ways that could potentially pull you out of it. But rarity in itself, does not make somebody special or valuable. It can in certain instances, like if somebody particularly is looking for, yeah, my rag's gone, is somebody who's particularly looking for, essentially what an INFJ is, yeah, that makes you valuable because there's just not that many of you. In that respect, we're like platinum. But, for one to see rarity as value, one must first acknowledge that they exist in the first place. Something that's rare and is known to be rare and known to exist and be sought after, that's valuable. Something that's, you know, rare to the point where it's almost considered a myth, on the other hand, people just assume it's not real. And why would somebody waste their time trying to look for something that, you know, they think a type of person that may only exist in works of fiction? Well, that's your other problem too. Some people think we're so rare that there's no real INFJs. We're just trying to emulate fictional INFJs, and that is not true. It is art that imitates life, and sometimes vice versa, because fiction inspires more than fact. Sadly, I don't really like that, but it is the case nonetheless. So, dealing with INFJ rarity, it can be, it's really one of those blessing and a curse things, as I said. The rarity in the sense that if you are being sought after, if perhaps, to somebody who is seeking to somebody like you, i.e. an INFJ, you have value in your rarity. But more often than not, particularly amongst people who don't know what the Myers-Briggs is or any of this crap, and some people do think it's crap. I think it's pretty valid. It does stem from Carl Jung, arguably the number 2 guy in psychiatry, and I like his work a lot better than Sigmund Freud. But to those that don't know any of this, where's the value in our rarity? They don't understand that people like us are indeed real and don't understand what our various attributes are that separate us from the vast majority of people and how we differ in the ways we think on certain key topics that most people don't, particularly most men. Again, but if you're not seen as something that actually exists, there's no, no value. It's like hunting for Atlantis. Are you real or are you not? And where do I begin looking? And perhaps you were real at one time, but all traces of you is gone, kind of thing. So that can be challenging for us to deal with, the idea that people don't understand that how authentic we are and how much we actually value integrity, that we're not playing a role, that we're, trying to express ourselves. And in our younger years, even that's a hell of a challenge, because our default mode is to shut down and play it close to the chest, not trust, because we're often targets of narcissists. There's a video on that too, by the way. And often, especially in our younger years, ridiculed for being different, misunderstood for being different, outcasts because we're different, especially if you're an INFJ male demisexual, because in your formative years, like in your teen years, yeah, you're not like most guys at all, and you don't understand most guys and their motives at all. And a lot of times, the way they speak and act, you want to beat the shit out of them, and sometimes you do. I guess that depends on your size and if they can make that INFJ rage manifest. So, understand that rarity doesn't necessarily mean good. In many ways, rarity can be a bad thing. As I said, there's not inherent value in rarity. There's inherent value in something rare that is actually sought after. And for it to actually be sought after, one must first know that the thing is real and actually exists. You can't go chase for something that you perceive to be valuable if it isn't real to begin with. So remember, trust your intuition always, and understand, being yourself may be a challenge for you to begin with, but it also may be a challenge for people to understand that you are being authentic, especially in the stages of life where most people are not authentic, and the same can go for certain workplace environments where being authentic is a rarity and not valued at all. And remember, never sell out your integrity to fit in. Be yourself. Sooner or later, people will acknowledge that you indeed are who you are expressing yourself as. So, best of luck.